Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading for the week of August 5th. This week, we're going to jump right in here, Aquarius. And you have this koi fish spirit. It says you're manifesting more love, prosperity, and wealth into your life. You have a scarab spirit. It says what appears unusable may still have great value if you look deeper. You and your opposite sign, Leo, pretty much get all these messages that say that you need to kind of like look deeper into something, or that there's more than meets the eye in a situation. I feel like this is probably in work or business for you, or something having to do with your abundance, right? And so you might think that there isn't an opportunity in work or abundance, but there might be a big opportunity somewhere where you kind of need to look deeper. And like I said, I think that this is very appropriate for you and your opposite sign, Leo. If you have Leo on your chart, then I definitely feel this is going to be extra true for you here, Aquarius. So I would make sure that, any opportunities that you are embracing, or any new opportunities that you're moving forward on, that you kind of look deeper. So I did your reading yesterday already, and my power went out, and I didn't realize my audio recorder was off. So there was no audio, unfortunately. But I do remember that, and sorry, this is off too. I do remember that you had the Two of Wands, and actually your reading was all about kind of like being on top of the world. This reading is a little bit similar, but it's still very good already, and your reading yesterday, unfortunately, was probably like one of the better readings I've ever done for you. It was really, really good. And again, this one is actually turning out pretty similar, so that's interesting. The Two of Wands kind of says you have the opportunity to be on top of the world. He's holding that world in his hands, and so he has the opportunity to get out into the world. Not only that, you go straight across to the Three of Wands, and I actually want to talk about the Three of Wands because, even though it's coming up at the end, what I want to say is that first card says, what appears unusable may still have great value. The story of the Three of Wands is that he thinks he's looking at the desert because the water is golden in color, but when he looks closer, he realizes that it's water, and he sees the boats, which represent like an opportunity for him to go on an adventure. And you have the Chariot here as well, which is definitely an adventure card. So again, the reading overall, I feel, is saying you need to look closer at an opportunity that could be presenting itself to you. And again, for a lot of you, I do feel this is like a work opportunity. You do have a little bit of love here. Actually, it's a pretty good love reading, actually. But again, I feel like the opportunity is more like maybe you think you're at the end of the road in your career, or maybe you feel like that there are no opportunities or whatever, but I feel like if you look closer, there actually could be a big opportunity. You have the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is fortune after difficulty, or, good things coming in for you after a difficult period of time. So if you've been struggling or dealing with any difficulties or challenges, I feel for a lot of you, this could be you overcoming a difficulty or a challenge in your life. I do also feel love here. Again, you have the Empress, the Lovers, you have this Lust card over here as well. The Sun even is a good love card. Three Cups, can represent teamwork with a person. So if you're looking for love, looks pretty good. You do have the King of Cups here, but, it could be any sign that's coming in for you. I don't necessarily feel this major King of Cups energy. We'll figure it out when we get there. You have the Page of Wands, and the Page of Wands is a card of going on the adventure, going this way. You have the Sun to the Lovers. The Sun shines a light on things that we need to pay attention to, or the Sun tries to get our attention on things that are important for us. So, while it is the best, card in the deck, it really is a card where you need to pay attention to your attention. And then we have the Sun behind the Higher Self Angel here on the Lovers card. So you could be being guided on this adventure to find love, if that's what you're looking for, or you could be being guided to love. And I feel that this is saying, it's safe for you to go on this adventure. Even if we go straight across here, we end with the Chariot, and the Chariot is also kind of like encouraging you to set yourself apart, or go on some sort of adventure. And so let's see what is going on here. With the Ten of Cups, you have the Lovers. So definitely could be love. Again, if you want love, this looks amazing. Ten of Cups is happy home, happy family. Definitely a very strong connection. The Lovers obviously could represent new love coming into your life. Even though it's Mercury retrograde, I always tell people, I would just go for it during Mercury retrograde. My belief is that nothing that's meant for you will pass you by. And again, a retrograde, all it means is that things could change after the retrograde, but it could be a positive change. The other thing that I always tell people is like, if you survive, like starting a relationship during retrograde, it's probably going to last a long time because you got through a retrograde with the person. So I don't believe the whole don't date during retrogrades and all that BS. To me, that is lack mentality. You're just putting yourself in energy of a blockage, right? With the Two of Wands, you have the High Priestess. Definitely time to trust your intuition. One thing I will say is you have the High Priestess and the Hierophant. These two together can definitely represent divine counterparts. I think that they're better divine counterparts than the Emperor and the Empress, even though you have the Empress there, because it's more of like more of a divine connection. So again, if you want love, that looks good. The High Priestess also represents potential, and she represents unlimited potential. There's no roof above her head. So like I said, if you're looking at an opportunity, and you even have this surprise card coming up next, and it says, expect the universe to pleasantly surprise you. I think it says something else about, we'll read it in a minute. I can't read, but it says something about, kind of getting more out of a situation than you think. So if you're looking at any new opportunities in your life, they could have a lot more potential than you realize. And again, I kind of feel like this reading is really saying that. I don't really remember much from your reading yesterday. So, that doesn't help, right? But it was something about you being on top of the world. But I seem to remember, but I don't want to make something up. So I'm afraid to say this, and we'll see what comes up. But I'm pretty sure you had the Hermit. And I was saying something about how the Hermit is standing at the top of the world. And I think that's why I said that in yesterday's reading. He's like standing at the top of the mountain, but he needs to like come down the other side of the mountain. He has that star in his lantern. And so to express his true potential, he needs to open that lantern up, and he needs to shine his inner light. He needs to kind of show the world what he has learned. And I kind of do get the same feeling here on the High Priestess. It's like, but more in the sense that you have learned things and you need to express your full potential. With the Page of Wands, this is what I was looking for, is the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands definitely says go on the adventure. The Knight of Wands is just excited, enthusiastic about something, and that's all he needs. It's kind of funny. I every single Monday, right, I read with the lovely Bonnie on Instagram, and there are a couple people, and I'm not picking on anyone here or anything like that, but they basically ask the same question every single week. And like I said, I'm not picking on anyone. I'm just making a point here. The thing about that is it's like sometimes I think people are looking for answers, and tarot never works if you're looking for a specific answer. It's like if you're looking for a specific answer, just go and do it and find out, right? And so I kind of get that feeling here where it's like some of you, it's like all you have right now is enthusiasm, or maybe you're just excited about a situation, but it's like there is no answer. That's how it's popping into my head. I hope that makes sense. It's like I think the only thing that's guiding you maybe is your excitement, enthusiasm, or you feel like something feels right, but it's almost as if the reading is saying there isn't another confirmation. Like I don't think, if you're going to tarot readers or something like that, or if you're the person asking me every single Monday the same question, it's like I feel like the answer is yes. I feel like the answer is just go for it, because there is no other answer for you. I hope that makes sense. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this fleeting card. It says you're in a transition phase of your career. There you go. If you keep faking it or winging it, you will end up going nowhere fast. Yeah, I think you need to step into the energy. You have the surprise card. It says, expect the universe to pleasantly surprise you. It says, everything will be revealed to you in time. Yes, let the plan unfold. So again, I kind of see you on this journey where it's like you are the one that is going to discover the answer. It's like no tarot reader or astrologer or anything like that is going to give you the answer, give the answer to you, right? It's like they could give you an answer, but it's like I don't think you're getting an answer that is necessarily motivating you to take action, maybe especially in career. Because I got something at the beginning of this reading all about like a career opportunity or a business opportunity, work opportunity, whatever it is. And so I feel like this is saying go for it. And this is an amazing row. You have the Empress, the Sun, and the King of Cups. The Empress says you're very attractive at this time. Maybe you're worried that a person won't find you attractive or something like that. But again, this says you're very attractive at this time, so I would get out there. The Sun and the Empress together is all about getting as much attention as you possibly can. And again, this is not for vain reasons. This is just to get attention on things that you're working on, creating, getting attention on yourself. And of course, we're doing this in a positive way. And that's the thing that will probably bring a lot of abundance into your life. We also go down 6 of Wands to the Chariot. So this is a big victory. 6 of Wands is a victory or success, and the Chariot is a victory. So it looks to me like whatever you're kind of bossing up and doing here is going to lead to a victory. You also have the sun, of course. We already talked about it, but a lot of attention. I also feel like there's something is going to be easier than you think. This little baby here is holding on to this big banner, and it's meant to look like the baby or the child is carrying that banner very easily. And so the sun sometimes I think can, and this, I never say this, but again, for you, I kind of feel like something is going to have a much nicer flow than you think. And again, I like to remind people nothing is easy. We don't live in La La Land, right? Unfortunately. So again, nothing is easy, but I just think this has an easier flow, has an easier flow to it, whatever it is. For some of you, it could be like a new connection that just has a nice flow to it. Maybe there's still obstacles, that's life. Sorry if no one's ever told you that before. There will always be obstacles. But, for the most part, I think things will flow easily. You do have the King of Cups. I don't know why, but I get a very fiery vibe off of I feel like there's a fiery person coming in for you. It wouldn't surprise me if it was a fire sign. Now, could it be any other sign? Absolutely. This is a general reading. I think it could be any sign, but they're showing up as a King of Cups here. A King of Cups has very deep emotions, and he has explored his emotions to a very deep level. So again, you could just be attracting someone who's very emotionally stable, but I can't get away from, I get more of a fiery vibe off of this person. So I don't know. there you go. Take it or leave it, right? So again, I don't necessarily feel that they're showing up as a King of Cups. I don't know what I'm trying to say. With the Empress, you have the Hangman. Yes, I think you need to make your move. It's like you have all the information. Exactly what I said earlier. Hangman has all the information he needs. He's hanging from the tree of knowledge and wisdom. His head is glowing on this tree, and so he's gained enlightenment. His next step is to move forward, and luckily we have the Six of Wands and Chariot. So it does look like you are going to start moving forward. With the Sun, you have the Four of Cups. Yeah, I feel like this won't be a disappointment. Sometimes I feel the Four of Cups comes up, and it's just saying that you've been disappointed a bunch of times in the past right here, and now there's a new opportunity that's being presented to you, and you're wondering, is this real, or, is this going to be a disappointment, or is it going to be something that's good? And I feel like this will be something that's good. The Four Cups, I think, it can represent grass is greener on the other side. It can represent contemplation and apathy. But in this situation, I feel it's saying that there's a new opportunity being presented to you, and again, just based off the reading, I think it's going to be better than you think. With the King of Cups here, you have the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is quick success. We see a lot of quick movement here as well. I mean, Eight of Wands, Six of Wands, Chariot. So this could represent just your life changing quickly, or maybe you're hoping to move, for example. If you're planning on moving or changing jobs, this right here is very positive. Even the Three of Wands at the end, it's coming up in the area of the good stuff. So the Three of Wands at the end would tell me that you're making a move. So if you're hoping to make moves, and it doesn't matter what type of move it is, I think that it will be very successful. Normally I say with the Three of Wands, it's a card that says, what are you waiting for? It's like this opportunity is in front of you. What are you waiting for? But it's coming up in the good stuff. So like I said, I think that you will be kind of making your moves here. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this risk card, which makes sense, and this lust card. Yeah, I feel like you just have to take the risk. Again, especially in career. There's a lot of love here, and we have this lust card, but like I said, I get something about you making a career move or a work or business move, and I really feel it's going to be very abundant for you. I'm not quite sure why it feels like a risk for you, is what I would say. It's I get something about teamwork here. So again, it's maybe you want to, become a manager, or you want to transfer to a team or something like that. And again, maybe that's the risk. Maybe you're not sure. So I get something about teamwork here. The lust card, again, I do feel like there could be a very kind of fiery, lusty connection coming in for you. Obviously, you have the Lovers here. The Lover says you have a choice to make, or a decision that you need to make at this time. So the Lovers could be love, but the Lovers traditionally was a card of being at a crossroads and having a choice or a decision to make. And I feel that the Lovers always encourages kind of the new direction. It's not always true. You're going to have to assess your own situation, but I feel for a lot of you, this could be you just moving in new directions in your life. And the Lovers would be a perfect match. And again, that doesn't have to be love. That could be a perfect match with your career. You have the Six of Wands here. It's almost like you're winning something. It's or other people could see you kind of winning something. There are all these people that are celebrating his success. This person back here is meant to look jealous. And so people might be jealous of whatever you are receiving. I would just completely ignore it, of course, but there's clearly a win or success coming in for you. You also have the Hierophant. The Hierophant can represent like blessings coming in for you. He is blessing these two people in front of him. And so, number one, if you're looking for love, this could be a blessed connection. If you're looking for a perfect match to something, again, like a job or a business, it could be something that you have been preparing for. The Hierophant can represent education. So for those of you that have been like educating yourselves, or maybe you went back to school or got a certification, this is very, very good for getting a job. The whole reading really is really good for getting a job that is like based off of a certification or some sort of class you took or whatever. So I like that. One thing I will say, you being a fixed sign, I think that the Hierophant is really important for fixed signs this year, and actually I would say until like 2033. The Hierophant can represent outside the box thinking, and I really feel that the whole reading, Knight of Wands, you start with that Knight of Wands, and Knight of Wands is very flexible, spontaneous. So again, like I said, nothing is ever perfect, although I think things will kind of flow very nicely for you with this reading. I feel like the Hierophant is saying you can get that, you can squeeze out that little bit extra with a little outside the box thinking on whatever you're working on. With the Lovers, you have the Moon card here. The Moon can represent, again, not knowing the answers. Exactly what I said in this row, right here, going this way. I literally said this. It's like you're looking at something, but you can't get the answers. That's literally what I felt in this area. So it's like I don't think it matters how many people you ask, how much advice you receive. It's almost like the universe is saying, no, you have to figure something out on your own. And so maybe you don't know if you're like qualified or if you're going to be able to get something you want and desire, or maybe you don't know if like a job is going to hire you, or if a person will say yes if you ask them out or whatever. But I feel like this Moon card is saying, well, you have to F around and find out, right? You have to be the one to figure things out. And, again, who knows why? You have with the Six of Wands, you have the Ten of Swords. I kind of feel like some of you could be leaving something also behind, but not in a bad way. I do feel like this might not make other people happy, is what I would say here. But the Chariot, he's leaving the city behind him and he's doing this so that he can have a victory. And, the Ten of Swords is something that's dead, done, over with, but I'm wondering if the Ten of Swords is something, like I see you doing something, and maybe this has to do with this risk right here. It's like maybe you're leaving one team of people or one group of people and you're going to another group of people. Like I got something about teamwork and something else popped into my head here. But the risk you could be taking is to like move on from one thing and do something else. But I also feel like you see the writing on the wall. Like let's say you're in a situation where you're working with a team and things just aren't working like in your career or your business, or it could even be a group of friends that you don't want to spend time with anymore. I really feel like you moving away is going to change the energy. And, it's like when we do those things, when we don't waste our time on things that we know aren't working, we're telling the universe we deserve better. With the Hierophant, you have the Nine of Cups. Yeah, I mean, if this is love, this looks really good going this way. Total fulfillment, happiness, success. Even if, like, again, I feel like you're going to be very fulfilled if you are getting a position, especially for those of you that have been, like, training or going to school for something. It looks really good. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Eagle Spirit, it says Spirit has your back. You have this Turkey Spirit, it says give with grace and gratitude. The turkey is also a symbol of abundance, so very abundant reading. Again, the reading I did for you yesterday was amazing. It was like all good cards. So, this is very close. It's not quite as good, but it is still good. And I would say that I think that there is definitely a lot of abundance coming in for you. Again, that reading, like I said, not to repeat myself, but it was all about being on top of the world. And this reading, there's plenty of stuff here that would make you feel like you're on top of the world. You have this Three of Cups. Three of Cups can represent a celebration, happiness, good vibes. I do feel like you are kind of entering into a social period, so you could find yourself socializing more. They are also celebrating a harvest. And again, that turkey spirit is all about a harvest or having a harvest. So I feel that there could be a harvest of abundance coming in for you. You have the Three of Wands, which we kind of already talked about. But again, I think that there's something where, like maybe you're looking at it, he's looking at something where he thinks it's a desert. So nothing grows in the desert. He thinks that there's no growth, but really there's like a ton of growth if he gets on those boats. So I think that it's time for you to get on those boats and go sow your wild oats, right? There you go. I could be a rapper. But what I would say here is I would get out there, expand with the universe. We have Jupiter in Gemini, right? You are an air sign. So even though it's not in your sign, doesn't matter. It's in an air sign. And, again, it's trining you. So I would say that it's definitely a time of expansion for air. You have the Chariot. The Chariot would represent like a move, or he's leaving behind the city here. He's also allowing the universe to guide him. And again, I think that's what I'm doing a really bad job of verbalizing here in this reading, is that he is just in alignment, right? He has these stars in his canopy, these moons on his shoulders, and it represents as above, so below. And these sphinxes here, they represent the mysteries of the universe. They are not attached to the Chariot. There are no reins attaching these sphinxes to the Chariot. So he just knows that he is in alignment with exactly what he wants. So there's nothing for him to control, even though the Chariot is a card of control. He is controlling it by being in alignment with what he wants. So I think for a lot of you that just being in alignment, even the Nine of Cups, by the way, represents being in alignment. He is bathing in the energy of what he wants on the Nine of Cups. So again, if you want something, I feel it's saying just like go for it and be in the energy and you will have it. Pretty simple. So let's see here. That didn't work. With the Three of Cups, you have, again, there you go. You have the Hermit. So again, like I said, I don't remember where it came up in your reading yesterday, but I'm pretty sure you had the Hermit. And because I went on some sort of rant, yesterday about how, it's time for you to come down from the mountains. Like you've been isolated and now it's time for you to get out of isolation and to expand, like I said, with the Three of Wands. With the Three of Wands, you have the Six of Wands again. Whenever you have repeating cards, it's basically the universe is saying, I meant what I said. So I think it's time for you to have a victory. With the Chariot, you have the Page of Wands again, which we have repeating cards right here. This is like some sort of adventure. I think that you're going to be doing something that you've never done before. And, it could be anything. It could be like, getting that raise or promotion. It could be, getting out into the world. It could be anything. And I feel like this is saying that you need to, get out into the world and do something. You have this cobweb. It says protected from negative forces beyond your control. So you are protected at this time. You have this June card and this Claw card. It says be careful, do not take risks. I think you almost took a risk in the month of June or July, actually. It could be those two, even though this says June. And I feel like you're about to take the risk now. So there you go. You have this ink pot, says problems to be resolved. I think this is reminding you that, again, nothing is perfect, that nothing ever goes 100% according to plan. Again, I think that everything in your life will have a nice flow to it with the Sun card. We were talking about that banner, but again, nothing is perfect. It's like every time I say this, someone is like, oh, my grandma stubbed her toe and, my best friend's cousin's uncle's cat died and, all this other stuff. I'm like, I never said everything was going to be 100% perfect. Of course, shit happens, right? There's an old Italian proverb. My grandfather was from Sicily. He used to sit me down and he used to say, Christopher, there's an old Italian proverb, and he would say, shit happens, right? And obviously that's not Italian. So again, shit happens here, Aquarius. You have this camel. It says, persevere and you will overcome problems, right? Just don't give up. Keep pushing forward, right? You have this Man card. It says, dealings or relationships with a man. You have this Mountain card. It says, you're on the road to success. There you go. So I think you are on the road to success here, Aquarius. Really good reading. On top of the world, like I said. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.